Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of Voice of the Voices. I'm Ansel Young and today I have with me Christine Marie Cabanos, right?
Yeah, that is right. Hey.
So we have a couple questions here to talk about. First one is, what was it like working on Kill la Kill?
Working on Kill la Kill's been amazing. I watched the show before, like right when I got cast, I went onto, not Netflix, on the Hulu, and I watched the whole show while it was simulcasting. And it's like balls to the walls, crazy, like just like a freight train. And my character's so fun to play because Mako is happy and like spunky and always like jumping around and yelling. So whenever I go into the studio, I'm always full of like endorphins at the end. I'm like shaking from all the excitement. But yeah, I love working on Kill la Kill.
She's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Another show you worked on was Puella Magi Madoka Magica.
Yes.
What was it like working on that?
That one is like the opposite. Not in that like that's not fun, but it's just like that was my first drama, and everything is very serious, and like the show takes like such a dark turn, and we spent a lot of time on each of those lines. Like I cry a lot, so we had to like spend like all the little emotional scenes. We like tweaked everything like so that everything would be just right, like it was in the Japanese. Yeah, and I'm really excited that the two movies that we just came out that we did.
Another show you worked on, Squid Girl.
Yes.
A lot of squid puns. What was it like working on that show?
That was fun too. That was probably the craziest one I'd done when I was still like in my first years of voice acting. She's kind of similar to Mako. But she's a squid who wants to take over humanity, and the puns were actually really fun to do. At one point, I got so used to doing the squid puns that I would put in ocean puns where they weren't supposed to be, and I would just start talking that way. Yeah, because we would go for like 5 hours at a time, so like it kind of just stuck with you. But that show has like a surprising following that I didn't like. I thought it was going to be like a really kind of small show and not a lot of people would know it, but a lot of people come up to me saying that they loved Squid Girl and they want like season 2 and that they thought it was super funny, and I thought it was, so yeah.
And another show you worked on, Blue Exorcist. What was it like working on that?
That one was really interesting. That was my first like shonen. All those shows I'd done before were mainly female cast. Like I did K-On!, which was about the high school girl band, and then I went right on to Madoka, which was the all-female cast as well. So working on a shonen where there was like action and stuff with like boys, that was really interesting. I actually didn't get to fight as much as I thought I would, but I loved my character Shiemi. She's one of my favorite acting roles to date, actually. Yeah. And I get a lot of people who watch Toonami like live tweet it to me, and it makes me feel really good.
And now, out of the numerous shows you've worked on, is there any that particularly you like more than the rest, or it's hard to choose?
I know. You can't make me choose between my children.
Right.
I think my favorites change every time, but I loved being a part of Toradora. I was Minori Kushieda in Toradora, and that show I loved even before I was cast. Like I didn't know that show was going to get a dub because it was pretty old,
And
actually.
It's NIS title. They don't usually
Yeah, it
dub
was their
series.
first ever anime series, so that was surprising. Yeah, and it was already old, so I figured they wouldn't like bother like trying to bring it back. But I consider it one of the greatest like romantic comedy animes of all time, and that's my favorite genre is like slice of life and romantic comedies. So that was like a dream project to be a part of. Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
And okay, so now out of all the characters you played, if you could be any of them in real life, who would it be? And feel free to mix and match multiple characters, like characteristics.
Okay. I'd probably pick 3.
Okay.
Let's see. I'd get Madoka for her powers, and Mako for her energy, and Azusa from K-On! Because she has sick guitar skills. So I would be an energetic, magical guitar player.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah. Now, is there anything that has been recently announced that you'd like to talk about, or anything that you're currently working on that you are able to talk about? I know you guys have a lot of non-disclosures.
I am working on new stuff, but I cannot reveal what they are yet. But hopefully one day in the future, if you guys follow me or anything, I post that stuff.
You understand.
Yeah.
And lastly, is there any way fans can follow you on social media networks or anything like that?
Yeah.
Care to share those?
I have a Twitter at ChristineMCVA. I have Facebook. I'm sure if you just like type in my name, it'll come up. And then I also have an Instagram if you like just want to know weird stuff about my life, like what I had for lunch. It's at Christine Cabs with a Z at the end.
Thanks for joining us today, Christine.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a pleasure.
Thank you guys.
I'm Ansel. She's Christine. We'll see you next time.
Bye.